Have you ever considered the possibility of human health without the presence of modern medical doctors? Welcome back to Health Historic Expeditions. In this episode, we delve into a thought-provoking and controversial topic. Doctors, do we truly need them? Watch until the end, as the answer might just surprise you. Throughout most of human history, our survival did not rely on medical doctors as we know them today. Instead, communities had healers who drew from collective experiences to provide essential care. These healers didn't use complex jargon or charge for their services, as their primary focus was on fostering well-being and offering natural remedies. Central to this system was the mother, who played a crucial role in providing nourishment, creating a comforting home environment, offering mental health counseling, and administering natural remedies. Their understanding stemmed from the recognition that strength and good health depended on a holistic approach to care. Currently, our society exhibits a significant lack of understanding about how the human body functions and what it requires for optimal health. While basic education in schools may introduce some knowledge about the body, it often lacks practical application. Consequently, many individuals remain uninformed about their own health needs. This knowledge gap leads to a heavy reliance on doctors and hospitals, with people seeking assistance only when problems arise, rather than adopting proactive approaches to maintain good health. The current model we have is supposed to be straightforward and effective, but in reality, it fails to function as intended. The global medical care expenses continue to soar, with the USA alone spending over $4 trillion annually, whereas the country's military budget is approximately $800 billion, comparatively much lower. Healthcare is significantly costly, yet it fails to deliver sufficient value for the money. Despite its high expense, the US ranks below Costa Rica and Cuba in terms of the quality of service provided. Did you know that medical errors are one of the leading causes of death and injuries in the USA? At the same time, only less than 10% of medical errors are reported. Treatments like radiation therapy and chemotherapy frequently produce such negative effects as hair loss, anemia, diabetes, vomiting, nausea, brain damage, lymphedema, infertility, etc. Misdiagnosis in psychiatry is not an exception, but the rule nowadays. Many psychiatric doctors adhere to the belief that depression results from a chemical imbalance and can be treated with medication. Consequently, there has been a concerning rise in the use of antidepressants and opioid overdoses, with these medications being prescribed even to young children. In many countries, we see examples of people being impoverished by the high cost of medical procedures. Every year worldwide, over 100,000 households fall into poverty due to healthcare expenses. In the United States in 2001, illness and medical debt caused half of all personal bankruptcies. What is more alarming is that errors in healthcare have grown steadily over the last decades. In a 2013 estimate, about 20 million negative effects from treatment had occurred globally. The side effects caused by the latest vaccines, for example, are higher than the side effects of all vaccines combined. Doctors themselves are not solely responsible for the current state of affairs. Among them, many genuinely strive to provide excellent care. The root of the issue lies within the modern medical system, which promotes excessive drug usage, unnecessary hospitalizations, and procedures. Our society, as a whole, has been influenced by this prevailing culture. To comprehend how we arrived at this point, we need to explore the historical context that led to the current state of medicine and healthcare. The story of modern Western medicine started with John D. Rockefeller. He managed to secure a monopoly in the oil market and became incredibly wealthy in the process, America's first billionaire, controlling 90% of all petroleum refineries in America through Standard Oil Corporation. At the dawn of the 20th century, scientific researchers delved into a realm of innovation, exploring novel compounds derived from oil known as petrochemicals. This groundbreaking venture led to the creation of the world's first synthetic plastic, Bakelite, which came into existence in 1907. During the same period of the early 1900s, scientists were also discovering most of the essential vitamins and their role in human health, such as B vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin D, etc. Simultaneously, a group of organic chemists were looking for ways to produce synthetic versions of these vitamins. In 1935, they managed to synthesize the first vitamin C in Switzerland. Rockefeller instantly recognized the opportunity to expand his monopoly over other sectors, like chemical and medical, by developing synthetic materials and drugs from petrochemicals. Furthermore, the fact that he could patent these products made it exceptionally attractive to him. Until this point in history, over half of medical practitioners in America embraced holistic methods of healthcare, relying on herbs and natural therapies. Chiropractors, homeopaths, and naturopaths constituted common medical specialties during that era. Rockefeller's first move in taking over the medical field was buying part of the German pharmaceutical company IG Farben, which gave him control over half of the medical institutions. Now it was time to take over the other half. In 1910, Abraham Flexner, employed by the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research, submitted a report to US Congress claiming that there were too many doctors and medical schools in America and that all the holistic treatments were unscientific quackery. The Flexner report led to the closure of most rural medical schools and 5 out of 7 African-American medical colleges in the United States. Eventually, the American Medical Association, AMA, was created, whose role was to oversee all the conventional medical schools in each state. Based on the Flexner report, the US Congress changed laws related to medical education and practice. What the students were learning was all about using patented drugs. The medical profession was monopolized by granting medical school licenses. Rockefeller teamed up with Andrew Carnegie and started funding medical schools all over America on the strict condition that they only taught modern medicine. They gave more than $100 million to colleges, hospitals, and founded a philanthropic front group called the General Education Board. Rockefeller also used his financial powers to influence the media, which ran campaigns to discredit homeopathy and natural medicines. Today, a similar system persists, with Big Pharma offering substantial donations to medical schools and research universities in exchange for teaching students how to utilize their patented drugs. So more than a century later, our universities create doctors possessing little or no knowledge about the benefits of nutrition or herbs or any holistic practices. They have become glorified versions of drug dealers. After gaining insights into the establishment of modern medicine, let us now explore the mechanism of action behind pharmaceutical drugs. Have you ever wondered why only doctors are authorized to prescribe pharmaceutical drugs? It is because drugs are toxic substances that require specialized knowledge for safe usage, similar to a deadly weapon. How can a sick person recover from an illness by taking toxic substances? They won't, because every drug out there damages the liver. One would think that the cure for sickness should not involve adding more toxicity. So why do we resort to using them at all? But pharmaceutical drugs appear to be effective for many people, despite the presence of side effects. How would you explain this phenomenon, you may ask? The pharmaceutical drugs work by numbing the body, conditioning it to operate under a toxic load. Usually, withdrawal after prolonged drug administration has catastrophic effects. It is similar to the effect of smoking cigarettes. When you light up your first cigarette, you are guaranteed to feel sick. But with practice, this effect disappears, and you even start craving them. If you try to quit, you feel worse. The so-called side effects of the pharmaceutical drugs are, in reality, their real effects. If the body does not want a certain substance on a cellular level, it will attempt to expel it through an adverse reaction. The modern medical system has been criticized for fostering a deliberate dumbing down and disempowering of the population. It often encourages people to unquestioningly trust the doctor, follow prescribed medication, and maintain the same lifestyle that may have contributed to their illness. If individuals dare to question medical authority, they may face resistance with retorts like, "How do you know? Are you a doctor?" The modern medical system, commonly known as allopathic, primarily focuses on treating symptoms rather than emphasizing prevention. A compelling illustration of this approach was evident during the recent pandemic, where hospitals continued to operate, but places like gyms, parks, and nature reserves were closed down. People were discouraged from going outside, where fresh air and sunshine could have potentially reduced their risk of developing the illness. The concept of prevention is rarely highlighted in medical literature and textbooks. The issues with modern medicine extend beyond the use of synthetic drugs. To truly comprehend the problems with modern hospitals, one only needs to examine their design and construction. The size of some healthcare complexes is so large that people get lost inside. The exterior reminds us of huge factories and is rather uninviting. Rarely do we see gardens or parks around the hospitals for patients to get in contact with the natural world. The lighting in hospitals is mostly fluorescent and LED lights, which emit blue light and thus interfering with the circadian rhythm of the body. The windows are usually small and do not allow much natural light from the sun, and in many places you cannot even open them to allow the fresh air in. Chemical disinfectants are used to clean the hospital rooms and corridors. These disinfectants contain poisonous substances like chlorine, which is extremely detrimental to human health. It can lead to calcification of the pineal gland and reduce melatonin production, which interferes with sleep. There is a lot of electrical and electronic equipment generating electromagnetic smog, which has many negative effects. Beds are usually placed too close within the room, ceiling heights are quite low and depressing. The sirens of the ambulances are so loud that they could make one's heart stop. In conclusion, the hospital buildings rarely promote a sense of relaxation, which is an essential factor in the healing process. What steps should we take next to address the current challenges and move forward in improving our health? If you wish to maintain good health, you cannot depend solely on the modern healthcare system, as it is driven by the notion that there is no money in healthy people. Their focus lies elsewhere, as a cured patient is a lost customer. Therefore, the solution becomes quite apparent. Take charge of your own health and well-being. This documentary is a friendly reminder to finally grow up and take full responsibility for your life. Fascinating things happen when you begin to get attuned with the way your body and mind function. Your weight drops and stabilizes, your mood improves, and you have more energy and mental clarity to confront life's challenges. Additionally, your libido increases, and various other positive changes occur. The body is designed to heal itself, so rather than working against this innate capability, we must focus on learning how to enhance it. Drugs, in some cases, hinder the body's natural healing processes. What the body truly requires is proper nutrition, regular movement and exercise, relaxation, sufficient water intake, clean air, and a diverse microbiome. These elements collectively contribute to the ultimate outcome, adaptive energy. This energy empowers the body to cope with daily stress, face life's challenges successfully, and facilitate healing and rejuvenation. Once we collectively prioritize our health and well-being, pharmaceutical companies and doctors can also be encouraged to adopt a different perspective on human health. If we take responsibility for our own health, some might wonder what doctors would do in that scenario. However, there are still numerous valuable roles they can fulfill, such as emergency life-saving treatments, treat acute physical traumas, assist in birth delivery complications, diagnostic modalities to find out what is really going on in the body, educating people about proper nutrition and natural treatments. Half of the hospitals could work as sports or spa centres, providing free nutritious food for those who could not afford it, or simply lending a sympathetic ear. Despite the provocative title, we hope you understand now that this video was not meant to be anti-doctors. So, what are your thoughts? Do we still need doctors in their current form? Please feel free to share your comments below. Thank you for watching until the end.